At the very start of Deltarune Chapter 1, a mysterious voice that is different from Gasta's as it doesn't glow or only use uppercase letters seemingly interrupts the vessel creation and tells us no one can choose who they are in this world. I believe the voice in question is actually Chara, the first fallen human from Undertale, or, to be more specific, the demon that appears at the end of Undertale's genocide route. I just want to put a disclaimer that this is my first ever theory video, and fully owned theory in general, so while I have checked my information carefully, I could still be wrong, or misinformed, and if I am, I apologise. With that out of the way, let's talk about why I think Chara is speaking to us in Deltarune. To begin, let's look at how similar the second voice is to Chara's. They both speak very cleanly and don't have any exaggerated punctuation, like with Papyrus and his exclamation marks, or Sans, who doesn't use any punctuation at all. I won't be speaking about the Japanese translations, since, well, I don't know Japanese, and I don't want to step on evidence that I couldn't fully give. For now, I want to leave the second voice and look at Chara in Undertale. In the genocide route ending, Chara greets the player themselves and thanks you for awakening them from their death with your power. They then immediately say, "My human soul, my determination. They were not mine, but yours." I am going to take this literally, as Chara is somehow piggybacking off of us, since their soul is actually ours, the players. Now obviously I don't take this as Chara always being soulless or anything like that, just that their soul is ours. Afterwards, Chara tells us that we have reached the absolute, there is nothing left for us here. Interestingly however, Chara also says this: "Let us erase this pointless world and move on to the next." I have an idea that Chara has piggybacked into Deltarune through our soul. In support of this, when choosing to erase the world, Chara goes on to say, "We'll be together forever, won't we?" implying that we are stuck with them. In addition, if you refuse to erase the world, Chara mocks us, saying, "Since when were you the one in control?" which is eerily similar to the oppressive voice that forcefully discards our vessel. Now, you could say that Chara is just referencing the next save file with the next world quote, but I strongly believe that they are talking about Deltarune. We know Undertale and Deltarune must be connected somehow, with Sans owning the punch card that is found in his secret room. In Sans of Papyrus' house, as well as Sans' suspicious dialogue about going back, and he isn't talking about the surface either. Another link between Chara and us sharing a soul is what is heard when we die in Undertale. "You cannot give up just yet, Chara. Stay determined." This mirrors the VHS tape found in the True Lab, where Asgore says, "Chara, you have to stay determined." Albeit the text doesn't line up exactly, however it is clearly meant to form a connection. Chara could be misremembering what Asgore said. They were just passing away after all. In addition, when we are passed out after falling at the garbage dump, we experience a recollection of Azrael's voice speaking to Chara. This is Future and Toma from, the future. As I was in this video, I also noticed that when the mysterious second voice hijacks the vessel and discards it, when it says "your name is," it is also the exact same as when Azrael asks what Chara's name is in the garbage dump. I just wanted to add that. Also, Azrael and of course Flowey both mistake us as Chara. This definitely could just be Azrael mistaking us because of our similar fashion choices. But what if he is basing our appearance off of our soul, and the fact that we do have similar fashion choices, which could be another link between us and Chara sharing a similar soul, or the same soul. Now, this final one is a stretch to say the least, but both Chara and the mysterious interrupting voice both suddenly appear in front of the player and talk to them directly, in a black void. With all that said, I would like to move on to things that could debunk this theory and try to give my reasoning on why they don't. First off, and I mentioned it before, is that when Chara talks about the next world, they are simply referring to the next save file, as Chara also suggests this with what they say if you do a genocide again after a genocide route and refuse to erase. Unfortunately, regarding this, you made your choice long ago. This, I can't simply say that Chara is talking about Deltarune, as my whole theory is that we take them there. In my defense, Chara also never states that the choice made long ago was in another world, meaning they could simply be still talking about this one and the previous genocide. Another wrench in the works is that Chara also says this if you do 2 genocides in a row. But you and I aren't the same, are we? However, I think Chara is just telling us that they did this to finish it, and to satisfy the curiosity of the player whilst also becoming stronger. Since we have done this, only to reset it and do everything again, Chara doesn't understand why we would do this for curiosity or power anymore, since we reset and become weaker and go through the same events again. This is further backed up with, you are racked with a perverted sentimentality, and I cannot understand these feelings anymore. The biggest thing against this whole theory is that, even in the weird route, Side B, Snowgrave, whatever you would like to call it, Chara does not show up at all. Even when you become stronger, there is nothing, not a mention, a hint, a whisper, anything hinting at Chara's existence at all in Deltarune. But what you do have to remember is the Chara that talks to us, the demon, they didn't show up anywhere either, until we were powerful enough to destroy the world. Chara may appear when Noel gets even stronger, or when love finds its way to the girl. And what is Chara? HP, attack, defense, gold, XP, LV. Love. Every time that number increases, that feeling, that's me.